Hello, hi, I'm Cryptic Hybrid, and this is Werewolf the Apocalypse Heart of the Forest. Now, Werewolf the Apocalypse Heart of the Forest is an adventure game that's inspired by the Werewolf the Apocalypse tabletop game, and in this PC title, you play Maya, a young woman who's from the United States and goes back all the way to Poland to find about her family's history at the Białowieża forest. And well, she's gonna find out a lot of things about herself and about her family. Now, this is a demo version of Heart of the Forest, a demo version that unfortunately I can't show all of it. I can show 10 minutes of it, so let's just go right in and have a small glimpse at Heart of the Forest. Alright. It's loading, it's loading. This demo is gonna start with premonition, Maya's dream, before she actually gets to the forest. Alright, tutorial. This game is about rage and how it helps us do things that need to be done, as well as things that we later regret. Sometimes both. How do you feel about that? Great, I'm always angry. I'm not. I'm okay with anger when it's useful. I prefer to think before I act. I'm okay with anger when it's useful. Alright. Your range is balanced. So you're the critical and analytical type. That's okay, there's no right path here, just your decisions and their consequences. Alright, let's see. I get it, my decisions need to be fair and just. I want to choose that. The forest. The woods are full of stars. They flicker, come closer, run away. They want me to chase them and play hide and seek. Let's observe. I watch as they dance around the tree trunks, float up on the gusts of wind that shiver through the branches, disappear among the leaves. There are words in their dance, but I don't understand them. Not yet. Then they bunch up and fly towards me like an arrow, rushing down. They're soon upon me, but just before the spear of light pierces my breast, they disappear, and the dark of the night returns. In the darkness, I feel the tangled roots of stories keeping the forest alive. I hear the spirits asking me to judge the enemy. I open my eyes, and then I wake up. Cold and alone, confused, I open my eyes. The forest around me is thick, dark, and reeks of decay to such an extent that it's hard to breathe. Something is rotten, let's say. The stench, both fascinating and repulsive, is everywhere. Tree trunks wrapped tightly in dark-leaved ivy are covered in ripples of lichen where the vines haven't taken hold. The thorny, leafless bushes at their bases are overrun with nettles. The fungi radiate with a ghoulish, sickly green light. Dark, sponge-like mushrooms cling to the fallen trees. Something is wrong here, I guess. I can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. I look down and see my hands covered in a dark substance. I'm naked. A sticky, glistening film of liquid is clinging to my skin. I can feel it on my face, in my hair. It's blood. This can't be real, because it's a dream, right? It all feels like a dream, and the twigs and stones hurting my feet seem so real. I pinch myself, but I don't wake up. I just see more clearly. Whose blood is this? Did I kill someone? There's a severed head right in front of me. Let's see. I wince and touch it, because we're brave. Overcoming my disgust, I gently touch its wet hair and watch as the head topples over. Some choices are hard to make, and they strain your willpower. You can see my willpower, one of my 3 stats in the top there. The face is contorted, the eyes bulging, the mouth open as though the head were still struggling for air. I balk because I recognize who it is, and then eyes open in the darkness. The enemy. Is it the enemy? I can see their silhouettes, shades of jet black against the darkness. They reek of metal and acid and oil and money. Massive creatures, some with mandibles, some with spidery legs. Their faceted eyes burn like small industrial furnaces. I look at them and something wakes inside my chest. Fury. Right? Think it's gonna be fury? Their entire existence is wrong, an abomination to the natural order. They have been judged and found lacking. I straighten up, ready to carry out my sentence. In a moment of clarity, I almost understand what the forest wants from me. And then I wake up. Chapter 1. Arrival. Maybe the forest wants me to kill something. A spirit? Maya, wake up! I jerked upright, irritated. My neck was stiff, and the movement sent a sudden sharp wave of discomfort throughout my body. I wasn't in the forest anymore. I was sat on a bus. The sun streaming through the window was making it hard to see. The girl next to me was touching my shoulder, disturbed. Pushed her away? No. Let's see what happened. Anya. Oh, this is Anya, yeah. She's... What happened? Overcoming the urge to push her away was hard. Overcoming your rage strained your willpower. Oh. She looked at me, concerned. You were screaming. I blinked. The memory of the dream was still there. I slowly unclenched my fist. And I looked outside. I must have bitten my lip. I thought I run my tongue over my teeth. The forest outside the window was watching me. The girl next to me shook her head. Thank God, we're almost there. Her name was Anya. We'd met a couple of weeks earlier on the orientation day. She was from Norway, a tall, broad-shouldered, calm person who wore her long hair in braids. Somehow I'd managed to talk to her into this crazy field trip across the land of my ancestors. And she seemed excited. Anya reached into her backpack and took out 2 apples. I'm really happy we decided to come here, she said. Yeah, I said, offering her some of my kabanosi, dried meaty sausages that were so much better than the original Polish ones back in the US. I was glad Anya had decided to come with me. I had problems keeping friends around and really needed one. I did some searching, she said from over her phone, and this place is amazing, the last primordial forest in Europe. This trip was my idea. Our summer language course was starting in a few weeks, and I managed to talk Anya into skipping the tours of concentration camps and old churches and visit Białowieża National Park with me instead. So far it's beautiful, she said, her eyes smiling, but why are we here again? That's a good question. Why are we here? Why were we there? There being Białowieża, a small village in northwestern Poland, where northeastern Poland, near the border with Belarus. It was famous for its national park, the very last European bison, and according to a quick web search, occasional tensions between far-right troublemakers and the local Belarusian community. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. The most honest answer would have been because I've been dreaming about the forest in Białowieża since I can remember. But people didn't understand when I said things like that. I mean, could you dream of some place you've never been to? I looked her in the eyes. Let's say I told her as much as I could. I wanted to see the forest. I heard it was a must. That wasn't technically a lie. When I was little, my grandfather told me stories about an ancient forest full of wonders and the wolves that lived in it. It was all I got from that part of my family before my mom took me, ran away, and cut off all contact with my dad. But I remember the stories well, and I remember the name of the forest. Let's see. Puszcza, maybe? Puszcza Białowieża. This will always be our home, my grandfather used to say. I waited for her to respond. Anya fell silent for a moment. I think it's great that you come from such a magical place, she smiled. The last ancient forest in Europe, thousands of years old. I wasn't sure if I was fond of that magic, but it was hard to ignore. And Anya joined you. And that was precisely why I needed to do something, anything, about that damn forest and my weird-ass family. Let's see, I had to learn the truth about my roots. Yes, that's my target, that's my goal. Go learn your family roots, yes. It was time I uncovered the truth about who I was. but now I wasn't so sure if it had been a good idea. Well, maybe sometimes you can be, frightened of what you find out. Your willpower dropped to 0. When you lose all your health or willpower, you become impaired. This will make physical tasks if you have 0 health, or social and mental tasks if you have 0 willpower, harder and sometimes impossible. Białowieża looked like an overexposed photo of a village with the contrast turned all the way up. The sun wasn't just shining, it was shouting at the earth, and everything, the trees, the grass, the wooden houses, the fences, seemed weathered. Everything except the shadows, they were sharp as though they were freshly printed with the darkest of ink. And they moved. For a second I could have sworn they moved, but then I realized it was just a black cat walking down the sidewalk. When it saw me, it stopped in its tracks. I tried to pet it. "Here, kitty kitty," I said, squatting and reaching towards the cat. In a flash, it swatted my hand away with its paw, drawing a few drops of blood. I yelped. "Hey Maya," Anya said, looking at me surprised. "Didn't you say your friend would be waiting for us?" But he wasn't there, and the cat was still staring at me. "Let's go," Anya put on her backpack. "I'm tired and I really need to go to find the toilet." I didn't know what to do. I was too tired and distracted to think clearly. My friend was nowhere in sight. So I stormed off, let's say. I grabbed my backpack and started walking. "I hate when people are late, I muttered under my breath. I was walking fast and it took a while for Anya to catch up with me. And with that, we have to finish off. This is us reaching a bed and breakfast, but we'll get to the forest. Both Anya and Maya will get to the forest, and they are going to explore the forest. Now, in the full release, I'm not sure what they're going to discover. Maybe, maybe monsters, maybe wolves, maybe magical creatures that are going to help them. Something that's going to connect Maya to her past and, make her discover something about herself. But unfortunately I can't show more. This was the first look at Werewolf the Apocalypse Heart of the Forest. I mean, the game looks really distinct, I think. It has kind of like a visual novel vibe to it, but definitely with graphics that stand out, and a story that's of course going to be formed as you progress and as you make your choices, and those choices impact your rage, your willpower, your health, and when those attributes are at certain levels, they're gonna affect on their own other types of choices that you can make in the future. So it's gonna be probably gonna be a game that you'll want to play multiple times. But hopefully, we'll see when it comes out and I can show more. This was Werewolf the Apocalypse Heart of the Forest, the first look at it. Now the full game is coming out in the 4th quarter, I believe, of 2020. It's gonna come out on Steam and Good Old Games. There are links in the description below to that if you want to wishlist it. I don't know if you can wishlist it on Good Old Games, but you can on Steam. So if you're interested in the game, check it out there, and hopefully we'll get to see more very soon, and hopefully I'll be able to cover it as well when it's released in full. Thanks so much everyone for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up real quick, and if you like what I do here, consider subscribing. That will be actually immensely helpful if you could subscribe. Tell other people about the channel, spread the word, check out the back catalog too, check out my YouTube channel, check out my BitChute channel, and subscribe on both youtube.com/cryptichybrid, bitchute.com/cryptichybrid, and of course after that please take half a minute to see the ways through which you can support me so I can continue doing this for a very long time. All those ways are listed in the description below. That was Werewolf the Apocalypse Heart of the Forest, a tiny preview, and well, until the next time we see each other, thank you and have an awesome day.